Now you see I make this green drink for health. It has all kinds of green things in it. But I noticed something interesting about it when it comes to creating sedimentary rock. There is a connection here. And I'm going to scoop of this green stuff. It has all kinds of elements in it for health. But I noticed there is a connection to how sedimentary rock forms. Some people have asked me why I selected this as an experiment. Actually, I didn't. I just happened to notice this observation while I was taking my herbal things for myself and my wife. And you mix it up, it's like the turbulence in the flood, mixing the sediment together before it was deposited. You can see it's all mixed through it there. You can see some of the green floating on the top a little bit. But mostly you require turbulence in order to keep this mixed with the water, otherwise it'll deposit. So turbulence is very important, which indicates that the deposition of sedimentary rock could not have been a very long time. It had to have been within hours or days at most. And you have to have turbulent moving water to keep it suspended. As I drink it, I have to keep swirling it in order to keep it mixed, or stir it some more, otherwise it'll settle. Now you realize there's only about 1 mile of sedimentary rock in any one place on the average, when there should be 100 miles of sedimentary rock if all the geologic column were there. Now 1 mile is a pitiful tiny amount, considering that it's supposed to have been depositing over 550 million years since the Cambrian, and then up to, the Mesozoic, 65 million years. It takes a lot less time to deposit that sediment, even though it's 1 mile. It would only take days or weeks at most of turbulent water. And if you say, well, they're long breaks, well then there should be big, huge canyons. But we don't see any canyons. All the strata is almost dead level flat. So we don't have the canyons and mountains like we do today. And this fact indicates that this was a continuous deposition over a short period of time. In other words, Noah's flood. From the Precambrian clear up to the end of the Cretaceous. Now the Cenozoic is post-flood due to another cataclysm during Peleg's division. Now as I begin to get towards the bottom of this, you'll notice it's beginning to get a little cloudy and it's beginning to deposit. And I have to keep swirling it in order to keep it mixed, otherwise I'll leave some sediment in the bottom. But if I keep swirling it, then it will keep it mixed. Now, if I don't keep swirling it, you'll notice it's beginning to separate. So you have to keep up the turbidity currents in the flood deposit in order to keep this suspended. And this can't be suspended over millions of years. And if you say, well, then there are big breaks in the fossil record over millions of years, then there would be huge canyons and mountains and tremendous amount of unconformities, and it would be a rough surface, but you don't find that in the fossil record. There is some surface areas that do have a little bit of erosion that you can see, but very little, considering that that's supposedly break over millions of years. Why, even our canyons and mountains have formed in less time than that. So I have to keep swirling it in order to keep it suspended so I can drink all this health material, like a green machine or something, you know. So this proves that the fossil record can't be millions of years, and it has to be a continuous deposition of the whole geologic column. Here you can see some of it. See it's that blotch there. And as I drink it, if I don't stir it enough, then it does like this. See, it's beginning to settle where you don't get all of it. If I kept swirling it, then you see there wouldn't be this sediment left behind. But you have to keep it moving. It can't be a settled ocean. It has to be moving water in order to deposit. That's why all of the sediment was deposited during the first few weeks and months of the flood. Later on, when it actually created a world ocean, then there was no deposition. So it was only during the first part of the flood that you get the deposition. That's why you get dinosaur tracks walking around, and then you get the bones over the tracks, because this was during the first month or two of the flood.